Alabama, let's get it.
The process, no one can stop this. Hottest show in the streets, I bet you can't top this. Rammer, jammer, yellow hammer, come see how we rock this. Alabama fans the best, there's no way you can top this. Recruiting news and interviews, just sit back and watch this.
Recruiting news and interviews, just sit back and watch this.
The process.
Welcome into The Process, Crimson Tide of Recruiting. I'm your host, Justin Smith, the scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama magazine. Thank you guys so much for joining me on our YouTube page today, as I'll provide you guys with some recruiting updates as always. I'll also catch up with the head coach of Williamson High School and Derek Sumter, talk about Alabama picking up a commitment from 2022 four-star linebacker Robert Woodyard recently, and talk about what Woodyard brings to the table. I'll also talk about some of the things I'm hearing on the recruiting trail when it comes to the Tides 2021 recruiting class, which looks like it is set to explode. So I'll get to a lot of different things on this episode, The Process. So with that being said, let's get the process started. I have a couple of recruiting updates to provide you guys with today. Some big things have happened in between our last show, which was on Tuesday, including Nick Saban FaceTiming with one of the Tide's top targets in the 2021 recruiting class, looking at four-star defensive end Monkel Goodwine. The Tide has been involved in his recruitment for a good portion of it, going back to when he first hosted him in June of 2019. Last summer, that was actually his first visit to any school. He told me he was really glad to take that visit. He got a chance to camp at the university and also got a chance to see what the university has to offer its student athletes, to get a taste of Tuscaloosa as well. Of course, he has Alabama in his top five, and it looks like Nick Saban Zoom calling him. It looks like the Tide is still heavily involved in his recruitment, the four-star defensive end out of Maryland by the way of National Christian Academy. It looks like some more good news is coming to the Tide's 2021 recruiting class with Kane Williams, the four-star safety who was committed to Alabama in the 2021 recruiting class out of Louisiana, with them posting on Wednesday that the Tide should get some good news on recruiting trail on Monday. It could be a good number of prospects that you could put into the conversation that Williams is talking about. I'll talk about some of the things I am hearing on the recruiting trail when it comes to the Tide, pushing for some guys that Kane Williams could be talking about making a decision on Monday. And going to the 2022 recruiting class, Alabama is continuing to extend new offers. One of those offers went out to 2022 four-star running back out of LaSalle High School in Cincinnati, Ohio, when you're looking at Gibran Payne, the guy who received an offer from Alabama. Of course, I got a chance to catch up with Payne. You guys check out that article on touchdowналabama.com. The link will be in the description of this video as well. Check out what he feels the Tide's efforts and the Tide's continued success has mean to him, and just talk about some of the things he feels about Alabama when it comes to them recruiting running backs in the 2022 recruiting class. Also, staying at LaSalle High School in Cincinnati, Ohio, one of the Tide's top defensive back targets in the 2021 recruiting class, and Devontae Smith recently decommitted from the Ohio State Buckeyes. As I said, he's a product of LaSalle High School in Cincinnati, Ohio. According to some sources that are surrounding his recruitment, that are close to his recruitment, Alabama has continued to make a push for this kid. So that's just something to keep an eye on as well. And I'll talk about some things I'm hearing also in the next segment as far as Devontae Smith decommitting from the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Tides push for him as of late. So a lot of things are going on with the Tides 2021 recruiting class. A.J. Hall, one of the Alabama's wide receivers commit in his wide receiver commits in the 2021 recruiting class, also tweeted out recently, actually tweeted out today a few minutes ago, stating that he is bringing a couple of more guys to the university as well. This is something he has stated a couple of times. I think A.J. Hall's becoming a great part of the Tides 2021 recruiting efforts. You always want to get a kid that's willing to come on board and also willing to recruit for you in the 2021 recruiting class, especially with the state of the recruiting landscape at the moment, not getting a chance to have any in-person contact when it comes to coaches and recruits, but players can have in-person contact with each other. So that's a great tool to have with A.J. Hall being committed to Alabama, with them continuing to recruit for Alabama as well. But when you look at Alabama's 2021 running back efforts, they recently extended an offer to 2021 four-star running back Armani Goodwin, who is currently committed to the Auburn Tigers. He has been committed to the Tigers for a while now. It's going to be hard in my mind for Alabama to flip him, but they have hosted him in the past, and I think they have a relationship with him at least. So it's a chance, but I say it's a slim chance at the moment. This guy's been committed to the Tigers for quite some time. In my mind, he's a nice running back, a guy with a nice package. I got a chance to see him in a lot of action during his sophomore season. Of course, he did not play much during his junior season, but I did get a chance to see him at his first game at Pennsylvania High School, and he basically went off and showed that he had really taken a step forward during his junior season. I wish we could have seen him his entire junior season, but he got hurt. But I think he will come back during his senior season at Woodyard High School to have another big season. So Alabama did extend the offer to him at the running back position. When you look at Alabama's 2021 running back recruiting efforts, I think it's a bit it's starting to get a bit sketchy. They do have offers on the table. Of course, they're still pushing for guys like Donovan Edwards, the 4-star running back out of Michigan. I know they want to add at least one running back in this 2021 recruiting class after pulling in 3 in the 2020 class. All depends on which guy they want to bring in during this recruiting cycle. So Money Goodwin looks to be on their board. It all depends on how they recruit him. I think it's a slim chance, but you never know. You never can count Alabama out when it comes to them pushing for a guy that they really like. Those are a couple of recruiting updates I want to hit you guys with. Next, we're going to some of the things I am hearing. Also, my interview with the head coach of Williamson High School and Derek Sumter. Well, let's get into some of the things I am hearing. I know a lot of you are hearing a lot of stuff, but according to some people that I've talked to, I expect Ty to have a big week on the recruiting trail this upcoming week, starting on Monday with what Kane Williams was referring to. And if you guys have been paying attention to the process, it looks like that good news could come from some of the guys that I've talked about a lot, and it's going to come from another guy who I've not talked about as much. So it's a lot of things that are going on in terms of the Tide 2021 recruiting efforts. I expect them to have a big week this upcoming week. Of course, you guys can get a little bit more detail about what I'm talking about by subscribing to Touchdown Alabama.com. I'll release several articles hinting at the fact hinting at the fact of the things that I'm talking about. So go ahead and subscribe to Touchdown Alabama. Some good news is coming to the Tide in the 2021 recruiting class on this week. I expect and I predict that as well. So that's just the thing I wanted to provide. You want more details? Go ahead and subscribe to Touchdown Alabama.com. Now I'm going to go to my interview with the head coach of Williamson High School and Derek Sumter. Of course, Alabama picked up a commitment from 4-star linebacker Robert Woodyard out of Williamson High School in the 2022 recruiting class recently, and now I have the opportunity to interview Sumter. He tells me that he's very excited to talk about what Alabama is getting in Woodyard. Coach, I know that Robert committed to Alabama, of course, and he's going to the University of Alabama to serve as a linebacker on the defensive side of football. But not talking about football, not talking about sports. What do you feel? What type of young man is Alabama getting in Robert?
No, he's a tremendous talent, but he's a tremendous kid. He's really not outspoken. Like he kind of an introvert, but he's a respectful kid, hardworking kid. Man, raised very well. His mama does a great job. Does a very great job in this upbringing. So he comes from a solid foundation, a solid home. But overall, man, he's just a very respectful kid. Very respectful kid.
Yeah, and I think that is something that's going to translate to the next level. Every school likes a kid that's very respectable. But on the football field, you guys use him on the defensive side of football, and Alabama's most likely going to use him there as well. What are some of the things that jump out to you from a coaching standpoint when it comes to what he brings to the football field?
Man, you can see that it factor.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about he's cerebral. He reads well. He's fast. He big, he aggressive, but the kid was a real good running back too. Now, real good running back as a freshman, man.
Yeah.
He had about 700 yards, about 14 touchdowns.
Yeah, and also I heard he's a pretty nice basketball player too. Could you talk about that? Him being like a real-round athlete.
Yeah. He made All-State. He was third-team All-State in basketball. He was the regional MVP. We won the state championship in basketball, so he was a part of that winning culture. So the kid always just been around winning, and that's what everybody high school liked him, but he stuck with us by understanding the academic plans in place. But in basketball, he's tremendous. He's like 10.10 rebounds, 5-6 assists a game. So he just wasn't the guy that overpowered you, but he had the cerebral enough to, shoot. He can shoot, pass, dribble. He just one of those rare talent that you get the combination of size and athleticism.
Yeah, I definitely can see that. And you were there when he I guess received the offer from Alabama and made his decision. Were you around that were you around his visit or anything like that?
Yeah, actually, I took him to when they had the elite junior day.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I took him up there, and that was Coach Saban offered him then, but Robert had 25 offers, so he was just sitting back, kind of evaluating what best. But like I said, he was kind of intrigued with how, the academic plan in place when we was doing the tour, when they have the setup that, they graduating in 3 years. He was kind of intrigued with that. He was intrigued with the new facilities. He was intrigued with what is it, the head trainer, doctor, is it Allen?
Yeah, yes, sir. That's right.
Yeah, he was intrigued. He was just intrigued of the overall environment of the program. He just, he didn't show it, but now me being with him, I kind of understand what really attracts him. He's not no rah-rah, this and that, but I kind of saw it in his face. He was like, Coach, yeah. He said, Coach, I like them. Because he's not an Alabama fan.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Normally, like, a lot of kids are.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, man, he's just one of those rare talents, man, that you get, every once in a while. Like, we have a kid that's, we have another one of my kids, he's at Auburn, that Roger McQuarrie. He's that same type guy. Tremendous talents, but also tremendous kids.
That will wrap this episode to process up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and subscribe to Touchdown Alabama on YouTube. Stay updated on everything Alabama football recruiting. Also download the Touchdown Alabama app. It is located in the Google Play Store as well as the Apple App Store. Then pick up a subscription to touchdownalabama.com. We have some big things coming when it comes to the recruiting efforts. When you become a subscriber, some big things are coming. You're going to want to be involved in that when it comes to film breakdown. Of course, I released a new show on this week on Monday, a new show called Smitty's Film Room, but that's just the surface of the video breakdowns that we're going to provide. That show provides a breakdown of Alabama's commits and targets film, but the things that we have coming provide a deeper breakdown, a breakdown that's deeper than anyone else is doing. I want you guys to be a part of that. So go ahead and subscribe to touchdownalabama.com while you're at it. And as always, I am Justin Smith, the scouting recruit analyst for Touchdown Alabama magazine.